is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV tonight. It is Tuesday, March the 20th, 2018. And did Daniel Bryan return to in-ring competition? Is he cleared? Yes! Did we see him wrestle tonight on SmackDown Live? Yes! Is there still plenty of reason to bring the hammer down on tonight's edition of SmackDown? Yes! Yes! And more, yes, and we are going to do just that right here and right now on the newest, fastest rising podcast in all of YouTube, baby! The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Let's do it!
The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
All right, wrestling fans, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Nick Nightmare. Along with me, as always, is the world's greatest tag team, the World Heavyweight Champion of Microphones, Blue the Snowball, and the Wrestling God of Thunder, Thor the Sledgehammer. And we are here to bring to you our coverage of tonight's SmackDown Live, your official review, brought to you by your friends at the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, right here on Sledgehammer TV. If this is your first time watching us, do not forget, if you enjoy yourself before the end of this video, to smash that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, join the hundreds that have already seen firsthand that we pull no punches and we bring the hammer where it is needed, all over the WWE. We are cracking skulls on almost a daily basis here, and we want you guys to join us along for the ride. Join the Sledgehammer Club, hit that subscribe button, and if you feel so inclined, get yourselves one of these sweet ass t-shirts like you just saw the commercial at the beginning of every show. Until WrestleMania, it'll be there, so get yours before it's gone. I want to thank each and every one of you guys, my loyal sledgeheads, that have picked up the shirt already. You guys kick ass. I am absolutely flattered, and I cannot thank you guys enough that this first t-shirt launch has been going very, very well. Don't forget to get your pictures to me. Wear your armor proud. Shoot it at me via Twitter. Anywhere in social media, you get that picture to me, share it with me, share it with the world, and you will be in a very special subscriber Sledgehammer Club video that we will be producing all by our lonesome, as we do everything here. Because I'm a one-man show, and I do nothing but strive to be the very best. Just like Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan has long been one of my favorite wrestlers ever since I seen him first come up in NXT, that initial first stupid game show where The Miz was his pro. You know, that whole nonsense where we had Ryback and all these other people show up and become part of the WWE. But Daniel Bryan stood out to me then. He stood out to me his whole entire career. He was a very, very big part of the reason why I was enjoying wrestling around WrestleMania 28, 29, 30. I loved everything he was doing with AJ Lee. How this whole thing got started and then how it ended up was absolutely just 100% unexpected. Nobody could have ever foreseen Daniel Bryan having to give up his career so soon. And it was one of the worst things I've ever watched on WWE television. It shook me as a fan to my core. Because so quickly, your whole life, just like that, with the snap of your fingers, could be completely altered. And now what did the man have to do? It was one of the saddest things we ever seen. And now here we are. Just a few hours before SmackDown went on the air, the news hit the newswire that Daniel Bryan was cleared by WWE doctors. We covered that on a very special breaking news episode. We hit it as soon as we could this afternoon. As soon as we seen it, I got here to talk to you guys about it. You want to see more about possible matchups and what I see in the future for Daniel Bryan, you could check all that on that video right there. But as soon as this news hit, I had goosebumps. I was absolutely the happiest I've ever been for another human being that is not myself in my whole entire life. I almost felt proud. I don't know why. I'm just like proud that he's going to have this opportunity to get back in the ring again, that he's finally going to be able to do what he wants to do and what he is one of the best in the world at doing. It's an absolutely fantastic story. But let's rein it in just a little bit, you guys. Let's remember that we're dealing with the WWE. And when dealing with the WWE, what is their first and foremost priority? To protect the image of the company. So it's interesting to note, and we will have to wait and see exactly how this plays out. Because from what we've seen tonight, are we going to see him at WrestleMania? They're still playing that off as an unknown. I'm going to go on a limb and say yes, we're going to get this tag team match at WrestleMania 34. Shane and Daniel Bryan versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Somehow it'll get made in the next couple of weeks, and it's going to happen. And it's going to be great. It's going to be great. But what happens after that? Daniel Bryan still has to renegotiate a new contract with the WWE. Are the WWE going to really be comfortable enough, even with the clearance by the WWE doctor, to allow him to go back to a full-time schedule? Are they going to request that he signs a part-time deal? Maybe not wrestle as much as he'd want to. Maybe only wrestle special events. Maybe the guy wants to go back to the way it was. You know, he wants to go back on the road. Maybe he wants to do house shows. Maybe he wants to work on his new technique. Maybe he wants to master his craft again. He's going to want as many reps as possible. It's possible the WWE don't have him in their plans for the future, but they are going to allow him to wrestle, or they run the risk of losing him to somebody else. And if that happened, it would essentially launch whatever promotion he decided to show up in as easily the number 2 promotion in the entire world, just based off of Daniel Bryan being a part of it. So that's what this is. This is a WWE maneuver to make sure that they lock him up. And to lock him up, they got to give him what he wants. And they're finally doing so. I still have my reservations about Dr. Maroon and why it took so long for him to come out and finally clear Daniel Bryan, when for months and months and months he has been telling the world that he's ready. He's got a fleet of doctors at his fingertips ready to, come to his defense and tell the world that he's ready. And it took this long for WWE's doctor to finally come around. If you wanted to conspiracy theorize this thing, you could pretty much say the WWE probably were begging Dr. Maroon to not clear Daniel Bryan. And this guy was looking like a joke amongst his peers. Look at all these people saying he's okay. Why are you saying he's not? He can't tell you it's because Vince is telling him to tell you it's not. And that Daniel Bryan is not ready because they don't want anything getting in the way of the initiative. And you cannot tell me with any argument that is valid that Daniel Bryan is not a threat to every single superstar on that roster. The reaction the man got tonight at every turn on SmackDown Live, from the minute he came out, everybody already knew what he was going to announce to the world. When he announced it, when he teased the fact that maybe it'll be at WrestleMania 34, the crowd was nuts. I have not heard a wrestling crowd so frantic in years. Possibly since maybe when Finn Balor won the Universal Championship that night by beating Roman Reigns on Monday Night Raw in the Raw after WrestleMania. That's all I could see as a number 2 moment in any recent years. The only other time you can compare this to is when Daniel Bryan actually won the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. It was just a guttural roar of the crowd. That's the reaction they want for Roman. That's the reaction they'll never get for Roman. Daniel Bryan is a clear-cut threat to everybody. He is automatically the number 1 man on the roster. He has been, even as the general manager. He's come out and his popularity and his reaction from the crowd just overshadows everybody. Daniel Bryan needs to get inserted into the World Championship hunt as quickly as possible. It's that good. He's that good. And the fans want it. So I'd like to see it happen. What happened tonight is not necessarily a maneuver in that direction, but it is a very good step in a very positive direction whether or not they embrace it and allow him to truly be the direction of the company and the face of the company, which he is and has been and always will be, at least for this modern era, that remains to be seen. Daniel Bryan is another one of these superstars that got over on his own with no intention, like our buddy Rusev. So it'll be interesting to see where they go with it. We all know where they went with Rusev. They're still trying to push him as far down the toilet as humanly possible. What did we get with Rusev tonight? We got a fast lane rematch with the #1 contender, Shinsuke Nakamura. Further, once again, I have to sit here and tell you guys, what do I keep telling you guys? I keep telling you, on this road to WrestleMania, it is not necessary to have your key players, especially in your main event matchups, being used in throwaway matches that mean absolutely nothing. You risk everything. You are risking Shinsuke getting injured. Having AJ Styles involved in commentary, you are risking him getting injured if he gets involved. The whole storyline is just so boring and dry. They have nothing more creative than this little back and forth squabbling, this childish one-upsmanship. This is for the World Heavyweight Championship. What are you doing? You know, I told you guys last week what I would like to see, and we did not take any steps in that direction whatsoever. All we needed to see was Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles possibly in a sit-down interview. Maybe you have Corey Graves or Michael Cole or Coach or whoever the fuck you want to throw in there. Have them in there mediating, asking them questions about this deep, rich history between the two. Michael Cole wants to go out and say, 20 years in the making. Let them talk about it. Obviously, you can't really name Wrestle Kingdom, or why not? Why not? Let them just talk about it. Let them tell the world. AJ Styles has been frothing at the mouth for this match. He's wanted his revenge against Shinsuke Nakamura since that loss at Wrestle Kingdom all those years ago. And now on the only show that is bigger than Wrestle Kingdom, WrestleMania, he is going to get a chance to do just that with the heavyweight championship of the world on the line. That story writes itself. Just let them be themselves. Let them do simple things like that. Then have a contract signing. Don't let it break down into the usual WWE nonsense. Why not have it wrap up really nice like one of them UFC fight, weigh-ins? You have competitor A here, competitor B there. Maybe they have some friends with them. He signs the contract. He signs the contract. They have a little face-to-face. Let the tension rise. Let it build. No conflict. No touching. That builds matches. Think about how Shinsuke Nakamura and Samoa Joe were built during their championship feud in NXT. They never touched. They built that feud for months. One week after the next, Shinsuke was getting under Samoa Joe's skin because he seemed to be not taking Samoa Joe very seriously. And Samoa Joe is the king of seriously. You have everything right in front of you to play it out perfectly, and you want to go this different route. So last week we have AJ taking on Rusev, taking down Rusev Day. You have Aiden English come in the ring after the match and double team AJ Styles. Shinsuke Nakamura comes in for the save. AJ Styles is mad about this. Right, so now tonight, what do we get? Shinsuke versus Rusev. AJ on the outside. Shinsuke wins the match. Aiden English and Rusev double team Shinsuke. AJ Styles looked to be taking his sweet ass time like he almost didn't even want to go in there and help, like he wasn't going to help at all, and he was just making it look like he was going to go help Shinsuke. But it didn't even matter, because by the time the guy got his coat off and turned around, Shinsuke Nakamura had Rusev Day absolutely canceled in the middle of the ring. So what does that matter? And now on top of that, Shinsuke Nakamura took out Rusev Day by himself. Both of them. With ease. So what does that really make you think the WWE thinks of Rusev Day? He has done nothing but lose and lose and lose. His involvement in the World Heavyweight Championship storyline is absolutely unnecessary and has done nothing but further bury Rusev Day into the ground. We have no reason to celebrate one of the most joyous days that we should celebrate every day, because every day is Rusev Day. But when Rusev Day is treated like this, it's a wonder how long Rusev Day is really going to be around. Absolutely garbage. I hated it. Just like I hated Baron Corbin versus Ty Dillinger. Why are we getting this match again? What was the significance of this match? To hype the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal? You're going to tell the world, oh, Baron Corbin's going to be the first time ever, because we got to get that line in there on every fucking show now. 2-time Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner. Yeah, because winning it the first time really did this guy some good. So winning it a second time is going to mean something. And while we're at it, why is Baron Corbin even being pushed anymore? When you want to go out there and you botch your own finishing maneuver, that's unforgivable. You know, he has never once messed up the end of days, as far as I remember in my whole entire memory, since I've seen this guy in NXT. It's one of my favorite maneuvers. It is a new and unique and absolutely beautiful maneuver every single time, executed with perfection. But Baron Corbin, and you guys let me know if I'm wrong, when he's coming out tonight, he's just got this look on his face like he don't give a shit no more. Like, I don't care. He's just there for his paycheck. He's going to go out there, he's going to go through the motions, and he's barely even going to try, because he don't give a shit no more. And if he don't give a shit, why do I? Why should I give a shit? He's got this very lackluster attitude about him. He used to have an edge. It used to come off as a swagger. Now he just looks like, whatever, here I am. I'm doing what they're telling me. Nothing's working, and now I'm here. I'm going to be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal again. Great. Like, that's what it looks like he's thinking. And then you go and botch your finishing maneuver. How much more can you show the world you don't care? That's the one move that you have to have fucking down. Even Jinder Mahal executed the Colossus on the regular better than we saw the end of days tonight. That's inexcusable. It's inexcusable for him to make me even say that. Absolutely terrible. What more could I show to you that Baron Corbin's stock has just plummeted and is worth absolutely nothing? The man can't even pull off his own move. He don't give a shit, you guys. Neither should you. I don't. Not anymore. He's not going to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And if he does, who cares? What does it do? Nothing. It does absolutely nothing. Just like the Women's Battle Royal is going to do absolutely nothing. We're going to get to that in just a minute. Because as far as we're talking about the women, we got to start at the top, which is Charlotte Flair. Who's Charlotte Flair fighting at WrestleMania? Charlotte Flair is fighting Asuka. Where was Asuka on SmackDown Live tonight? In a promo package? In a video package? That's how you're going to build the biggest women's match you have on WrestleMania's card? You're going to have Asuka on Raw last night, wrestling Alexa Bliss for no fucking reason at all. But then she's not even going to show up on SmackDown to face the champ, to have something to say to the champ, have an interview for SmackDown Live. She's chosen her path. Her path is clearly now the blue one. She's going for the SmackDown Live's Women's Championship. Why is she on Raw wrestling the girls on Raw still? I don't understand that at all. And I would be forgiving of that if she was at least on SmackDown tonight in some form. God, she didn't even have to be there live. You could have taped something and made it seem like she was at least there. But no, we just get a video package about how awesome Asuka is. And then we cut to Charlotte in the back watching how awesome Asuka is. And we get Natty coming in there starting to be all fucking retarded. And Natty's talking some crazy shit, saying that the only reason Asuka's undefeated is because she hasn't faced Natalya yet. She's out of her mind. She's out of her mind. Charlotte then correctly stated that she needs to get out of the catnip, or get off the catnip, whatever it is. She's taking a little bit too much of whatever she's nipping, because that's an insane statement. And then Natalia's like, oh, I should be in the main event at WrestleMania facing you for the championship. No, you shouldn't. Why? Why? What have you done all year? Just like Nia Jax, what have you done to warrant a championship match at WrestleMania, Natalya? Nothing. You've done zero. So now, Charlotte challenges her to a match. She's on the way to WrestleMania to fight the most dominant, the scariest, most terrorizing force in all of the women's division, and she wants to challenge Natalya. Because Charlotte's a fighting champion. How about we let them build this thing, like I said with AJ and Shinsuke? There is no need for any extra. The story's already there. Charlotte Flair, the second generation female superstar, 4-time women's champion, going into WrestleMania as the champion against the most terrifying woman you will ever meet in your whole entire life. She has not been defeated in over 500 plus days. She has never lost a match in the WWE. She's coming for that title. It's going to be amazing. And you want to risk everything. Having Asuka fighting Alexa last night and Charlotte fighting Natalya tonight. And what was the point of Charlotte versus Natalya tonight? To give Carmella some time? In the middle of this match, we get Carmella coming out trying to cash in the Money in the Bank. And now, while we're on this topic, I'm not on Carmella's side at all, because her involvement in this is unnecessary. The fact that she even has the Money in the Bank briefcase still at this point is a disaster. It's an absolute disaster, because her destiny now is to be the first woman to cash in and fail. Because she's not going to beat Charlotte at any point in this next 3 weeks. She's not going to beat Asuka ever. So she's going to lose. Unless she jumps ship to Raw and maybe moves the briefcase over there with her before we get the next Money in the Bank pay-per-view, which is coming up shortly after WrestleMania. So they got to move on this thing. It's just cluttering up everything and making things worse. Just like it did tonight. You had her come out to try to cash in. And what is the deal? Like I said, I'm not on her side, but what is the deal with these referees during a Money in the Bank cash-in for the women's division? Why can't they ring the bell? What is the problem with going like this and calling for the bell? To restart the match and insert Carmella in it officially. She came in, she handed you the box, you took the box, and then you gave the box to the other guy. And somewhere it got lost in translation what was happening? It's your job to know the rules. What are the rules of the Money in the Bank briefcase? As a referee, you know what the fuck to do. You should at least be trained what to do. Shouldn't be handed the briefcase and then be standing there like, what do I do? Look at the timekeeper, look at the ring announcer, look at the fucking commentary team. You're looking at the back of Carmella, you're looking at Natalya because she's on the floor. All this time is wasted. You should have rang the bell. Should have rang the bell. This is what, the third time this has happened now? Just some weird confusion with the referees? How stupid are WWE officials? I mean, I've seen some stupid stuff, but this consistent blunder with this Money in the Bank cash-in has to make you think twice, doesn't it? Now, I know there was no intention for her to cash in that Money in the Bank tonight, so obviously they were dragging it along to build drama and whatever. I understand it's a TV show, people. I'm not stupid, but this makes no sense. Wouldn't you want at least your staff to look like a professional staff that knows the fucking deal and has a grasp on what's going on? No. Instead, you want to play them off like a bunch of bumbling idiots. Terrible. All for her to attempt to cash in, fail at it, and then give the win to Natalya. Why? Why are we having the women's champion lose while we're on the road to WrestleMania? Like I said, she's preparing for battle against the Empress of Tomorrow. And now she's losing to Natalya. Sure, it was because of the distraction of the failed cash-in attempt. But are you fucking kidding me? Natalya couldn't beat Charlotte Flair all throughout the year. They fought each other 3, maybe 4 times. They fought each other at Starrcade. Charlotte won every time. Now Natty's going to win? Now Natty's fired up? Now Natty's somebody to be afraid of? Come on. Absolute trash. Absolute trash. We had the tag team storyline furthered along in a singles match, which I never mind that. We have the Usos come out there, do their microphone thing, because they are, as we continue to tout on this show, the greatest tag team on the planet right now. They absolutely bring you in and captivate you every time they talk on the mic, and then they deliver 100% in the ring. You can't go wrong with that. And the Usos definitely came to play tonight. Jimmy Uso calling out Luke Harper. He gets a one-on-one match with this member of the Bludgeon Brothers, and this was a very brutal match. This was an absolutely brutal match. Luke Harper is a fucking beast. He's absolutely insane. I still have no idea why the WWE didn't continue to push him while he was in that little solo run, because he was doing great then. He has trimmed himself down. He looks absolutely fantastic. And in this match with Jimmy Uso, he was great. Jimmy Uso, as well as they always do, bring the fire, brought the hammer as hard as he could to Luke Harper, but the Bludgeon Brother would remain strong, and he clotheslined him out of his friggin' high tops, man. One of the most vicious clotheslines I have seen delivered by him in recent memory. And he wrapped up Jimmy Uso for the win. They went to go and beat him down even further in a post-match attack, but thank God Jay was there to pull Jimmy to safety, and the Usos will live to fight another day, as we will see this triple threat tag team championship match for the SmackDown Live tag team titles. It's going to be a show-stealing match, guarantee it. However, triple threats seem to be the theme of WrestleMania 34 this year, because we are not only going to have the SmackDown Live triple threat match for the tag team championships, we're not only going to have the Intercontinental triple threat match, we have been told tonight we are going to be treated to a triple threat match for the United States Championship. The worst angle being booked on SmackDown Live right now is the United States Championship angle. It is not glorious at all. It wasn't. It was not right from the get-go. Was I happy when Bobby Roode won the United States Championship? Absolutely. I love Bobby Roode. But you guys know, if you watched the show firsthand, I brought the hammer down right on him too. Because as much as I love the guy, good guy Bobby Roode is nauseating. And it makes me want to bash his brains in, because he knows that this is wrong. Triple H knows that this is wrong. But Vince loves the song, right? And he's got the robe. And he's coming out with Charlotte. He's in the Mixed Match Challenge. It's glorious. It's garbage. Then you want to give the belt. You want to have him lose. You want to have Bobby Roode lose to Randy Orton. Pretty much putting the belt on the exact same person. Only Randy Orton's a little bit taller with less hair. And it's clean shaven. They're both heels that are wearing babyface skin right now. And it makes me sick. Makes me absolutely sick seeing Bobby Roode and Randy Orton pandering to the crowd, looking for the adulation of the fans. It makes me want to throw up my dinner. It's unacceptable. Two absolutely natural and charismatic heels. They could carry the company on their back. If you want to give me that evil, villainous Randy Orton, the real Viper, the real Randy Orton, not giving a shit about your kids, not giving a shit about the fans, only giving a shit about the World Heavyweight Championship. The real Randy Orton wouldn't give a fuck about the U.S. title. The real Bobby Roode, the Bobby Roode that used to be off the chain, the Bobby Roode from Beer Money in TNA, the Bobby Roode from NXT, the World Heavyweight Champion. That's not this guy. That's the guy we're looking for. He's nowhere to be found. He's missing in action. He's on the sideline with Samoa Joe somewhere. Absolutely ridiculous. And then you want to make it worse by adding in the worst heel that there has been in the last decade in Jinder Mahal. Do I have to even go into any analysis onto why adding him into this match is bad? The fucking worst wrestler on the roster, the worst speaker on the mic, the most garbage performer of the year, the most overhyped, overpushed person other than Roman Reigns on the entire card. The one person that you chose to further an initiative in India and not to further the prestige of the World Heavyweight Championship. You think this is going to make this better? So now you effectively have a match of 3 heels, with 2 of them pretending to be baby faces, and I'm supposed to give a shit when all 3 ingredients are spoiled. It's not going to make a very good pie, if you know what I mean. It's going to make a pie that I'm going to take this fucking hammer and smash that friggin' pie. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pick it up with my hand. I'm going to smash it in somebody's face. Because that's how bad this is. I want to put pie right in everybody's face. A big fat lemon meringue mushed in your mouth. Randy Orton, Jinder Mahal, Bobby Roode. Meringue, meringue, meringue. Bang. Hammered down. Terrible. Just like this useless tag team women's match. Now, don't get on my balls, start and call me a woman's hater, because I love the women. I love Becky Lynch. I love Naomi. I don't love the Riot Squad. But we had Becky Lynch and Naomi going up against 2 members of the Riot Squad, Livy Liv Morgan, little wannabe Alexa, and Girl Braun, Lady Strowman. Don't tell me she don't look like Braun Strowman's little sister. If Braun Strowman was a 5-foot-tall female, he would be Sarah Logan. If Sarah Logan was a 7-foot-tall monster man, she would be Braun Strowman. They look like they could be twins. In some weird way. I don't know if it's just the hair and the outfit and the get-up on the girl, but she is definitely Girl Braun. You want to come at me on it? Go ahead. Because I'm not wrong. Now that I said it, it's in your head, you know it. I call her Girl Braun all the time. If you were wondering why, that's why. She looks just like him, but tiny and female. It's not, it's not a bad thing. I'm not saying she's an ugly broad. Braun Strowman would, I guess, make a decent-looking 5-foot-tall lady. But, she's just Sarah Logan. And she's terrible. She's terrible in the ring. And she's not ready for the main roster yet. She did impress me in the Mae Young Classic. I was okay with her, but she was nothing special. I don't understand her addition into this whole thing. Much like Crap Solutions, Sonya Deville. She just is there to fill the space. Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense. In this match tonight, she proved that even more by being the one that submitted to Becky Lynch's disarmers. Sarah Logan, Girl Braun, tapped out, ending this ridiculous tag team match where we had to see the Pigeon Squad, Ruby Riott and the Flock of Seagulls. For what? To hype a women's battle royal that means nothing. You're not even going to give the winner a shot at the championship at SummerSlam or at another big-name pay-per-view somewhere down the line. There is no reason for these girls to want to win this match other than the fact that they're going to be the first ever winner. What's the motivation? What's the driving factor? Why do these girls give a shit? You think we really thought they were going to give a shit when it was for Moolah and that they would want to win that trophy? Just like the guys really give a shit about the Andre trophy. Do they even get to take one home? Do they have a replica one that they at least get to keep? I hope they got to get at least something out of it. The girls now will get absolutely nothing. It's useless. It's filler. This tag team match was filler. The Women's Battle Royal, unfortunately, will be filler. It doesn't need to happen. You don't need to have everybody performing at WrestleMania. The whole point of being a pro wrestler in the WWE was to earn your spot on the WrestleMania card. To be so good all year long that they have no choice but to feature you somewhere on the biggest show of the year. And if you're lucky enough, you will be the biggest and best of the year, one of the 2 biggest and best of the year, and you will be in the main event of that show in that year. That's what WrestleMania is all about. By doing it the way they do it, it would be like having the fucking baseball season all year long and then having all 32 teams enter the playoffs and have a shot to win. And what was the point of the season? Same thing with football. You got all the teams going in at the end anyway in some tournament to win the Super Bowl, to make it to the Super Bowl. then the 16 games you just played all year mean nothing. So what you're telling us by filling the WrestleMania card with everybody you can is that the work rate doesn't matter, your popularity doesn't matter, your merchandise sales don't matter. We're going to find a spot for you because we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Everybody's got to get a fucking trophy so you'll all be there at WrestleMania because we can't hurt the feelings of these sensitive millennial asshole little kids who are pretending to be pro wrestlers. Come on. If they know what wrestling is about, they should know if there's not a spot for you on WrestleMania, then you need to work a little harder next year. Shouldn't just be gifted matches, given these stupid gimmick matches. You're going to end up making WrestleMania 15 hours fucking long. For what? To watch Sasha Banks win a meaningless battle royal before WrestleMania even begins. Come on, you guys. But the moment of the night. Let's get back to the positive. I know it's been a long jump in between, but Daniel Bryan finishes off this show. He wants to come out and address the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn situation. We all know what they did to Shane McMahon last week. It was absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn claimed that they weren't even going to show up tonight because Shane McMahon was now gone, but they heard Daniel Bryan was going to announce his return and they needed to be here to congratulate him. And they wanted to play it off as if they were all still good buds and that they didn't do nothing wrong and they're having a good old chuckle when Daniel Bryan's talking about everything that they did just last week to the commissioner, the former commissioner. And Daniel's like, I don't understand. You know, I've been your friend for a long time. We know each other 15 years. But you got what you wanted in the end last week. Shane McMahon was walking away. You guys essentially won. He was leaving. He was not going to be here to bother you anymore. And then you absolutely destroyed him. Really, really fucked him up. Put him in the hospital. And now I have to do something that I didn't want to do. Daniel Bryan would then go on and fire Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. He offers his hand in friendship. Sami Zayn shakes it. Kevin Owens shakes it. They walk away. And then the fun begins. Owens and Zayn attacked Daniel Bryan in the middle of the ring as SmackDown Live was about to go off the air. And Daniel Bryan would fight back and we would get to see him actually wrestle in the ring. Those corner drop kicks that he was delivering absolutely send chills down my spine. To see him and hear that crowd go absolutely nuts in unison, chanting yes for every single yes kick that he delivered to both of those guys. Absolutely breathtaking stuff. This is a feeling in pro wrestling that has been missing. When the show ends at the end of the night and it's so emotional and so dramatic that when it goes off the air and Daniel Bryan is being wheeled off in a stretcher after Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn just did some of the most beautiful heel work in their entire life, and you can't wait till next Tuesday now, can you? You need to know where this is going. Even though we all kind of know where it's going, you want to see it now. It makes it a whole lot more interesting. Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon are on the same playing field right now. They eliminated them almost the exact same way. These attacks were mirror images of one another. We had Daniel Bryan take one goddamn vicious helluva kick to the face from Sami Zayn, and he sold it absolutely beautifully. And then he would also suffer at the hands of both men as Owens and Zayn would powerbomb him onto the corner of the ring apron, which is just one of the worst things to have to watch anybody take. He was definitely in bad shape as the EMTs came to wheel him out. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens were just beside themselves, screaming in anger and disappointment, and nobody knows now what is going to happen next. We effectively don't have a commissioner because Shane McMahon is gone indefinitely, per his own words, and now Daniel Bryan is going to be out of commission for a couple of days, and it'll be interesting to see where his road to WrestleMania is going to lie. Are they going to keep Shane McMahon out of action? Are they going to give Daniel Bryan a partner, a more valuable partner, to get in there with WrestleMania, to make his WrestleMania return to the WWE? That would be great. I wouldn't mind that. But it seems like this tag team matchup is now going to happen. I keep seeing everybody online talking about AJ Styles really being injured and that they are going to substitute Daniel Bryan with AJ. Not that he wouldn't be a suitable substitute, but that's not what we want to see. That's not what we want to see. There's too much history between AJ and Shinsuke. There's not much between Daniel and Shinsuke. It would not have the same appeal to anybody that knows anything about professional wrestling. And that was pretty much your show tonight, guys. That was SmackDown Live. You know, and one other thing I failed to mention was when Daniel Bryan first announced his return in the beginning, they came back from commercial and Dolph Ziggler shows up as if anybody gives two shits about him. Do you care about Dolph Ziggler anymore? Do you really care? What has he done besides lose? The guy shows up, he wins the United States Championship and leaves it in the middle of the ring, comes back to lose the Royal Rumble and lose every single other opportunity that has been handed to him. Pretty much lose every match he's been given. He was in that elimination six-pack challenge. Lost. Dolph Ziggler's a loser. Why do we give a shit that he's even around? Much like Baron Corbin. They don't even look like they want to be here anymore. And you got him having the nuts to come out there and be like, oh, Daniel Bryan, let me be the first to say I want to beat you. You ain't going to beat Daniel Bryan. You are not going to beat Daniel Bryan. You can't even beat Baron Corbin. You can't beat Bobby Roode. You can't beat any of these guys. You think you're going to beat Daniel Bryan? And who wants to see that? Ziggler versus Bryan is not a money match. You want a money match, you want to talk Bryan versus Styles. You want to talk Bryan versus Aleister Black. Daniel Bryan versus Andrade Cien Almas. Daniel Bryan versus literally anybody in NXT if we're being serious. Daniel Bryan versus Shinsuke, obviously. Daniel versus Joe. Daniel versus Balor. Daniel versus Seth. The list goes on and on and on. The most obvious of them all, Daniel Bryan versus The Miz, to wrap up that whole story, which is already laid out in front of you. Once again, this is the road they should be going on, but it's not. We talked a little bit more about that in our coverage of the Daniel Bryan return earlier this afternoon. That's going to do it, man. One interesting thing I do want to note before signing off. I had my notes. You saw me just put them down, and I got the WWE's official live results up here on my monitor board. And just in an interesting little side note, the Jimmy Uso versus Luke Harper match apparently doesn't exist. It's not here. Anywhere to be found on WWE.com. It's not in the quick hits. It's not in the full results. It's not in any of the pictures or the photos. That match, I guess, didn't happen. And it was one of the more enjoyable moments of the night. So if I have to erase that from my head's existence, then this show pretty much sucked besides the Daniel Bryan stuff. Hammer down. Bang. On SmackDown Live. Thank you guys so much for joining us for this review of tonight's SmackDown Live. Yes, Down Live! For March the 20th, 2018. Don't forget, you guys, if you enjoyed this show fully, and you are still here at this minute, hit that like button right now. I'll wait just 1 second. Alright, good. Now that you hit that, if you're not already a subscriber, please feel free to join along right now with the hundreds that have come aboard already, because they know that this is the place to be for some of the best, funniest, hottest, newest coverage of pro wrestling that we do, unlike anybody else, because we just tell you guys how we feel. And if you agree with us, then great. If you don't, that's great too. The comment board is yours for open discussion. Just keep it respectful and be nice, or you will find yourself on a block of ice chilling on the outside looking in. So don't be a dick, or I will be a dick to you. That's just fair warning for all you morons out there that might want to play some games. I don't play games. I bring down hammers. That's what we do on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. My name is Nick Nightmare. This is my tag team, the world's greatest tag team. The Wrestling God of Thunder, Thor the Sledgehammer, and the World Heavyweight Champion of Microphones, Blue the Snowball. I am the legend of podcasting, Nick Nightmare. You guys have just been watching the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show right here on SledgehammerTV, only on YouTube.com. That is going to do it. And we are out of here. And we will see you next time right here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Shirts!